Amber with 210 home warranty, up to the 175 plot here. She needs your business, guys, so that she can keep giving us money. Judy, you drawing?
You are.
What are you trying to do, Terry?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was.
No, no.
That is she.
What's gonna make mine cheaper
I've
than?
never had that. Are you ready for left and good?
She was shaking it off.
Michael Huff.
Oh,
Man, that guy's lucky. You did it last time.
Too bad he's not here today.
Tell him he can adventure. All right, fill your buckets, have some want. Somebody give me fill the bucket of someone else, please. Anyone that you feel like you're grateful for has done something nice for you, has helped you.
I just want to thank Miss Ruth for staying faithful to us.
Miss Ruth for staying faithful to us. There's a lot of people that are right? And I had said Earl because believe it or not, you guys, he is before hours, after hours. Somebody called him at 7:15 yesterday and he was fixing their problem. And so I know that we think of, oh, you know, he's on salary or staff or whatever it is, but he does do all that extra stuff that means. Let's clap for him. He's also looking like a center of attention. All right, anybody else have anything? New agents, has anybody helped you? Okay. How about having one? Nobody there pocket listings coming up? Anything they need to ask about? All right, I'm gonna keep going then. Let's do prayer requests. Anybody have a prayer request? What's over here?
I was gonna say.
Everybody's doing good? Yeah, this is a lot better than this was going a month or two ago, right? Hal Griffin is in his second round of chemo, so his first chemo didn't do the trick and they're getting a bit more aggressive with him. He was just in last week. He's doing great. He's so upbeat. You guys could reach out to him, text him, write him notes, check on his mom, check on him. But he's just saying he'll be back at work as soon as he can, so love him. Claire Moore is, has someone in her family in hospice. Some of you guys have ever had that happen, but that's really hard. Same thing with Tiffany Hewitt. She has a best friend and good girlfriend in hospice. So pray for both of those. Robert McGowan's wife, you guys know Robert McGowan. His wife is like 40 years old. She came to the Triple Crown and she'd had emergency heart problems, had a pacemaker taken in. She is just still not well. She was back in the hospital. They were trying to get her medications right. So she's just struggling and we've got to keep praying for that young family. Okay, Mark Rotowski, his wife Debrina, she had a thing on her foot and it like abscessed and it's, I guess, kind of bad, but she's doing okay and healing little by little. So he said,
They've been doing oxygen therapy.
oxygen therapy apparently. So, and I already said about Tiffany Hewitt. So anybody else, just,
I have kind of a broad one. I'm from Florida, and Hurricane Michael has really affected that whole Panhandle area. And I know it's broad, but it would be nice to include them in our prayer requests.
it is nice to include them in the prayer requests. I mean, that stuff can be devastating, and we know from just a short year ago
Right.
what that did to some people that we knew.
And my brother's recovering from a very serious spine surgery yesterday.
Your brother had spine surgery, how's he doing?
He's doing good. They thought that it might end up putting him in a wheelchair if it didn't work, and it seems like he's actually standing up now.
So is anybody in the room willing to do the prayer for me? I didn't ask before the meeting about that. Stand down like this, he had it up. Who's your prayer request, Matthew?
I have an uncle right now that's battling leukemia. We just found
An
out.
uncle?
Yeah, we just did my last one, so we just found out. So he's battling.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, guys, let's do a silent prayer for the families that I've mentioned, for the military, just for all those things in our heart. We're coming up on Thanksgiving. Let's just take a couple of minutes of silence and be with some gratitude and love and care for all these families. Okay? We'll do about a minute. And just think about what in your heart you're praying for. Gratitude. Lift these families up, okay? In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, pray because I can hear you.
Somebody's phone is talking.
Somebody's phone was talking. $5 KWKers.
It was coming from like.
Put it on. and-
No,
It's KSBJ.
Okay, Texas Homeland Title is doing Legal 2. Who went to Legal 1? So they're doing Legal 2, and I've got a sign-up sheet here, back there on the table for you guys to sign up. It's $25 per agent. It's gonna be in December, and I don't know if I have it here. I'll have it in a second. But I just want to mention that Texas Homeland is doing that. They're bringing in that education for us. Gateway Mortgage.
I'm
You wanna
Ryan
come and
here.
say hi?
Yep. Hello, everybody. Just want to remind everybody of the 2 programs that we have. And Earl, we still have our to be determined. So if you have anybody who is wanting to lock a rate and they still haven't found a house, we have a to be determined. We can do that for a 30-day lock and then 45 days to close. So we have that still. And I just want to remind everybody, we still do have also our 1099 bank statement program. So if you've got any buyers who are interested, but they think they may not qualify, let them talk to us. We will do loans with bank statements only. So keep us in mind on everything, okay? Thank you much.
And what are the interest rates doing? Are they stable?
They got stable, but I gotta admit, they've obviously gone into the 5s. Actually, I called a friend of mine, everybody, you know other people in the business, just like anything else. And I called a friend of mine on Friday to ask him what his FHA on a 640 rate was. And I was expecting to hear 5, I heard 6. So I'm like, whoa. So he is, obviously he's not gateway, we're not quite there, we're 5.625, 5.5, but his 640 was 6%. I even text back going, are you really sure? Why don't you double check your numbers? He texted back and said, nope, we're at 6 now.
And 640s, you know.
That's, 640 is, it's a little bit on the lower scale, but let's be honest, they're out there, and those are FHA buyers, so guess what? That's where it is, so.
What do you think is the lowest score for somebody to feel like they're gonna get pre-qualified?
The lowest score? Well,
You know,
I
like
mean,
what do we tell somebody your score needs to be at least?
You know, the answer is we'll go down to 580, but I've got to tell the truth on that, in that a lot of times when you do that, there are overlays. When you get to overlays, you have a lower DTI, you have things like that, you might have some reserves in there. And when you get to that level, a lot of those people just don't qualify because they're just not there. So on an FHA, we really, I mean, the best ones are gonna have to be in the 640. They're gonna get the 5.5, 5.625 right now. So the market has stabilized. I mean, it has. It kind of shot up in October, but it's been okay for about 2 to 3 weeks now.
Do you do Texas 5-star?
Yeah.
So agents participation, who can tell me what does it mean to your buyer's affordability when the interest rate goes up? Let's say it went up a point.
Payment.
Payment goes up.
They may be able to afford
They
it.
can afford less for the same amount of money. And there's some nice visuals on how, especially first-time buyers, or if you have people on the fence, it's such a good thing to push out to your database of any kind of client. They can see it and read it just like we can, but if they're not that watching it like we are, it's just a neat little thing to send out. Not have you looked at the rates, but affordability, content, things like that. And the Gateway holds a class every month for anyone that doesn't really quite get closing costs to FHA and interest rates and debt to income, and those things come to their class.
And we do have a class tomorrow,
They
so.
have a class tomorrow. Any other question?
Yeah, what about interest rates for people with really good credit? What are
They're
they?
still in the 5s.
They're in the
Really?
fives.
They're in
and
the
they are
5s all
saying
the
they
way.
may
The
not go
lowest,
back
the
down.
lowest rate right, the best rate right now with, let's just say a 780 W2, everything is just absolutely perfect. They're 5.1.
Okay.
So it is what it is. What's really funny is that I'll have people ask me, well, can I get in the 3s? No, you can't even get in the 4s.
Can't
They're not there.
Can you buy down?
No. The answer, you can always buy down, but you've got to look at what you're gonna put in, the cost of buying them down. And let's say it's just 1 point to go down, and all of a sudden, you're gonna pay let's just use a $200,000 home. You're gonna pay $2,000 and save $14 a month, keep the money in your pocket. I look at all the numbers like that. Now, if you only gotta pay a couple $100 to buy down an 8, that's fine. But, you just look at the numbers and see what's practical. I have a rule, if it's less than 5 years, as a payback. You can think about it. If it's over 5, you can think about it as maybe yes. If it's over 10, never buy down a rate. Never. Why? Do you know what you're gonna do in 10 years? No. So,
Well, and so guys, when you talk about words like affordability or house the market and all those things that we as an industry, how much does the rate affect our industry? How much does inventory affect our industry? How much does the job market affect our industry? So as you have just those conversations out with your Ford conversations, isn't it nice to have a comprehension of what the rates are doing, right? So thank you.
and
Ruth,
you,
are
if you
over
got
there
any
to say
buyers
something?
that are even on the fence, I mean, have them talk. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Talk is cheap. Let's see, because if they know where they are now and where they might be in the future, sometimes those people gotta say, I've gotta make a decision today, not tomorrow. So,
Ruth?
The affordability will affect the first-time home buyer way more than
yes.
anybody
It's a
else.
first-time home buyer, which buys the people that are moving up or down in that next category, right? So that's why it's such a big deal.
Yeah, there's a domino.
There's a third of the market is first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
All right, so this is, oh, look here, I was telling about your class. I am so good, Earl is so
You are good.
Okay. Village Builders, Dean, is it Maselli?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to come talk to us?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna take my coffee.
Welcome to Village Builders in Grand Central Park. We're excited to have you here to be able to host your meeting this morning. I left some flyers on the chairs and things there. These two models are traditional townhome plans, or what we call luxury townhomes, with all the bedrooms upstairs. The flyer there are 2 brand new plans that we kind of responded to the market. The market was asking us for master bedrooms down or no stairs, but they love the townhome concept, lower maintenance, simpler lifestyle. And so we found a couple of plans that we could adapt and make Village Builders plans, and now I have a 1-story and a 1.5-story townhome. So if you have somebody who's looking to downsize or get into a lower maintenance type of lifestyle, a little simpler lifestyle, but they don't want the master bedroom upstairs, or they don't want stairs at all, we have that product now here.
So what's upstairs on this?
On the 1.5, there's a bedroom, a bathroom, and a media room.
Oh, good. Okay.
And downstairs, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And then the single story is 3 bedroom, 3 full bathrooms. So a really nice plan. But because I build them side by side, I build a 1-story next to a 1.5, maintain that roof line, we get 12-foot high ceilings through the kitchen, dining, living area, entry foyer, so really nice open plans. They really open well. Now I have 2, my first 2 that will be complete probably in about 2 weeks. They're nearly complete, they're ready, so after your meeting this morning, if you'd like to, we can go right around the corner to 143 and 147 Sky Branch, and we'll take a look at those. You're welcome to walk through those. It's a 1-story and a 1.5, so you'll be able to see both plans and see how those fit for you.
So what's the price point? I'm sorry, I didn't do my research.
That's fine. Now the single story starts at $267, the 1.5 starts at $285. So some really great pricing. Now these 2 particular models, these haven't actually hit the market yet, and I don't know that they will. We've got a lot of interest in them right now, but we're going to be selling these models and building new models probably within the next 4 to 6 months. So if you have anybody that may be interested in potentially purchasing a model, this side I can convert and we could do right now. Next door we would lease back for probably through the end of the first quarter. And then be able to release that to the new owner. So some exciting things happening here. So there's going to be a lot of things going on. So keep an eye on this. Grand Central is a community, fantastic community. Sam Houston State just closed on an 8-acre parcel along the frontage road in our business park. They're started construction on a 4-story, 108,000 square foot building, and they're moving their School of Osteopathic Medicine down here. That building should be open by the end of next year, and then they have a phase 2, which will be a second 4-story, 108,000 square foot building and a parking garage. So really exciting things. There's gonna be a lot of things happening out here. So just kind of put your seatbelt on, sit down, and enjoy the ride, because it's gonna be kind of wild, as Grand Central gets going and grows up around here. So. Again, thank you for coming. We appreciate having you. Gateway does a great job with mortgages. Every builder has their own preferred lender. I'll share with you right now, we do have some special incentives. Lennar is the largest builder in the country, goes out and buys a block of money every single week. Spends about $25 million a week. So right now, I have some special incentives for your buyers. We can buy down a rate all the way down to 4.5 and lock it in for 30 years, or I can pay all their closing costs. So some special incentives, things like that. You'll find them with every builder. I don't badmouth every lender out there does a great job, but as a builder, obviously we have our preferred lender, that does a great job. So if we can put something together, great. If not, we know we've got a great option at Gateway as well. So thank you again for being here. We appreciate our realtor partners and all that you do for us. And
So what's your tax rate?
3.25. And that's fairly early on because we're early on in the development cycle. Obviously, as Sam Houston builds out, as the town center builds out, they spread out that tax base. That should come down as the MMD comes down. It's already come down a little bit. It started at 3.38. It's already come down to 3.25. So it's trending the way it should. But, MUDs are kind of notorious. They're supposed to go away in theory, but,
Yeah.
I haven't seen but one in history that's done that, so. Any other questions? You guys are fantastic. I'm gonna be next door unless you have your meeting. I may pop in and take a few pictures and things. But when you wrap up, like I said, at 10 o'clock, right around the corner, 143 and 147 Sky Branch, I'll have them open with all the lights on and things. You're welcome to come and take a walk through those and see that single story and story and a half townhome, okay?
And you probably already said this, I'm sorry if I didn't listen. What's our price point?
267 is where my base prices start.
So we're in that 260 to 300 range.
270 to 300.
270 to 300, pretty nice. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your meeting.
Okay, guys, on the Y4C2Ts, the culture and the values of Keller Williams. We had something this week that I wanted to just talk about. So when you have a buyer who's buying and they're selling at the same time, and you've got all this dominoes lined up, and the clients are stressed out, and they can't close without moving. I mean, they've got to close one to sell, buy one. And do they always get the house clean? Do you guys, as a group of realtors, push for a professionally clean house? How do you guys handle, I just want to do a little mastermind on this. How do you handle that tense move out at the last minute for everyone? Give me somebody with some experience.
I had a bad one, and it was hard because the moving company that was supposed to arrive at 8 o'clock didn't show up until 10, and there was no rental back. And
No lease back?
No lease back, and it was, I had to make a 4-hour lease back just to make the deal work.
So you did a last minute lease back the day up.
Yeah, but what I did is I just called a professional cleaner and paid for it myself.
You paid a professional cleaner kind of last minute.
Last minute, and I called, the ones that I know, and I said, bring your sister-in-law, and I paid for it because it was my mistake. I will never do a same-day deal again without a one-day lease back, because you never know what's gonna happen.
What do you guys think about same day deal? Do them, don't do them? Do you do them?
Sure.
Same day move in, move out?
Yeah, you do that.
Do you have professional cleaners scheduled in advance?
Advance.
What do you think? Anybody have any insight? Case by case basis?
Case by case. Yeah.
I would just say, because sometimes as a newer agent, and just that it goes off over the years of experience, that talking with your clients about, they don't realize that the house is, once they move the furniture out, maybe they think it's already cleaned and it isn't now. Okay, this is just going in and it goes back to do the right thing. And then sometimes doing the right thing, we end up paying for cleaning, and really it wasn't our house to clean, so just wanted to talk about it and have you guys think about it. Regarding our culture, chili cook-off and costume contest, who thought that was fun? Next year, we'll do it a little different, but I already put it on the calendar for next year because it was, everybody loved it, and so more stuff like that I'm hoping to bring to you, and not just all work, but the costume and chili cook-off was a good time, thanks for that. Okay, concealed firearm permit. Judy, you had a sign-in sheet going for it, I gave you, where are we on scheduling it?
Oh, I haven't got to that yet.
I was thinking about the first Saturday of December. If you guys are going to the concealed class, safety class, raise your hand if you're in the room, okay? So you guys prefer a weekday or weekend day?
Weekday.
You prefer a weekday. See, I prefer weekend day.
But realtors, a lot of times we're doing a lot of showings.
Yeah, well, no, that's why I'm
and stuff,
asking.
and The weekday would
How long
be easier to
is it?
schedule.
It's 4 to 6 hours if you're doing the actual CE. It's a 4-hour CE and then the carry permit.
Make sure
So-
you're insured.
I'll do a, have Judy send a little thing and we'll get a date picked, because I'm ready to get it on. There's probably like 20 of you that want to go. And it's a good time of year to do it, right?
Yep.
And that'll be over at Cut and Shoot. No.
Can I bring a friend?
Yeah, sure.
Shooter station.
Shooter station, not in the shooter station.
Right down the street.
Let's go ahead and get that scheduled, guys.
Let's go out.
Okay, welcome new agents. Karen is in the room, right? Welcome.
Thank you.
Val Pierce, welcome. She's here, she's over there getting some coffee and I'll show her.
Oh, Heidi.
Nikki Madison is in Huntsville on the Don Story team. Kelly Cry, not in the room, but new agent. Miranda Castro has been with us a long time. She is on the Shive team and just got licensed. Awesome, right? Okay, capping. Congratulations on capping. Always clap for that. Bradley Bean. Dale Story. Catherine Mayer. All right, so Kelly, are you ready to pull out your phone and open your Kelly app? Hey, you should just expect it by now, right?
I do.
So as things get released on Kelly, we just bring it to you and tell you. So now you can put your CGI goals. Well, she really already is paying attention to it if you have it inside of your KW systems. So who knows what a CGI goal is? Not you, Earl. Not you, Judy. Who else?
None of us can.
Career growth initiative, and really I think of it as your, your commission goals. How many houses do you want to sell? And so it's just a very easy way to put your business plan at your fingertips. So now if you open Kelly and you can either say Kelly set my CGI goal, or what I just pushed in mine was CGI goal. So here's where I took a screenshot of mine. I know you guys can't necessarily see the screen that well, but this says, so I said, Kelly, CGI goals. She said, Anna, it looks like you haven't set any goals for 2019. To add goals, add your button. Well, next week after you go to business planning, we'll just hop in there and add your goals in there. And then she'll just track it all year long for you. You don't have to think about it and go pay attention to it. Now you'll pay attention to some things, but your goals will be there. So if you see this screen, this says in 2018, whenever I set it up in 2017, I had told her that I wanted to have 35 listing appointments. Well, I didn't ever track any listing appointments, and plus I was team leader, so I wasn't going on listing appointments, so she said I went on 0. She said I wanted 0 listings taken of the 30 that I wanted to go on. I had 5 closings out of 46 that I had said I wanted. So I probably did a couple deals with friends and family last year, but had I been an agent, I would have wanted 46, right? And then my income shows that I made $26,000 on something, but my goal was $275. So your goals will just be that easy. Boom. Anybody try it and see that it works? If you guys try it right now and see if it works, put your card in here. I'll draw a prize. Yours works. All of a sudden now I'm gonna give you a prize. Yours works. Who else is still thinking?
Working on it.
I have been determined that you guys are motivated by money. Prizes. Anything else? You don't have yours downloaded? Polo, you don't know what I'm doing?
I got the same message you did.
That's okay.
Oh, it's in the car.
Oh my gosh. My KW app. Judy?
I was gonna give you, you should be on my card.
I want your card if you-
log in and I don't know what it
It's just
is.
spin on it.
Sure, Keller inside.
Click on that little type button.
Log in.
Now type CGI goal. Hit 2. I can't get in. Can't get in.
What?
I'm gonna let you.
Yeah.
I know
They
my
log
log.
this out.
I know how hard it is. Yeah, you can use this for that.
I got it.
He's using that for that.
Aww.
Okay, guys. All right. Anybody else?
I've got a lazy.
You want me to wait a couple of minutes?
Or Kelly's lazy.
Oh, Kirby got it. Guys, it's not that
I'm sorry, I don't see a definition for CGI.
okay, put a space in between the two,
Okay.
words, try again. Did you already put your card in?
Of course they did.
Snuck it in.
I'm just looking for help.
It's weird.
By seller focus.
Oh, you put chai. Mess with it a couple minutes, your card's already in. Here guys, listen, your listings will come through the Moore system, so when you get a listing, do you put it into dot loop when you get it? Hit it for compliance before the listing sells. Get a master of your paperwork and your processes, and Kelly will just be paying attention. There's so much stuff coming from her that as I just walk you through the little small things that she's doing, you'll be seeing how this will matter for your
Say again about the dot, say
businesses.
again about the dot loop.
I'm saying when you have a listing, you put it into dot loop, okay? You put it into compliance. Now, our process is see your listing. You don't have to go enter your listing into Kelly, she'll know that you have a listing. If you never input it in, then how do we know about it, right? You guys can't go to closing and then say, wait a minute, I forgot to put it in. You know, you have to put it into dot loop and submit it for compliance and go to your closings with your DAs already created. Shake your heads like this, like you know what I'm talking about. And then the only thing that you have to track for this to all work is to put your appointments in. Well, we'll be talking about that as you go further with your planning, okay? All right. If it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist, right? Let's talk about our schedules. We're gonna show a few things off of the, calendar. So dot loop training, 1 to 2 p.m. Tiffany Hewitt, you guys know that we have an in-house transaction coordinator that you can hire to do your paperwork if you want to. You pay her at closing. She's also coming in for free for me and teaching the dot loop class. If you guys think you have mastered dot loop, maybe you have. My expectation if you've got dot loop going is that you have your template set up and very easy from your phone or a few minutes to write a contract, put in an offer, those kinds of things.
And I'll say very great things about her, is she is a licensed agent.
Right. She's a licensed agent, she understands the green sheets, she understands all of that. She's teaching you dot loop class. So that's a class that everybody needs unless you just are great at getting your stuff in compliance, which I know some of you are not. Okay, principle 1, personal mastery and mindset. As Ninja starts again on the principles, Wednesdays, always Wednesdays, Ninja 9 to 11. If you guys are not tapped into Ninja 9 to 11 on Wednesdays or think you've already done it, Ruth, what do you have to say back there?
Well, what I would say is you probably need to do it at least 2 or 3 times, the principles. These classes are divided into 2 groups. One is 4 principles, those are Wednesdays, and the other are skills groups, and there are 16 of those. We're almost to the buyer part of the skills group, and that's Thursday morning from 9 to 10:30ish, something like that. But it really takes a couple times going through, or 3 times going through these to hear, because every time you hear something new.
You guys, it's such good material, and I know you're busy selling houses. I know there's many of you in the room who are going and are telling me how fantastic it is getting results. And I know there's some of you who aren't yet there going. Here it is, starting again this Wednesday, and you can hop into the skills groups, especially if you're not a new agent. Now the new agents, you guys will just be doing it, you'll be getting it. So put that on your calendar.
Evening class?
Evening classes are, I'm going to be bringing myself, and Donna Story's helping me with some evening classes for those of you who cannot come during the day. They will be skills, practice, repetitive. This week we're doing listing interview, practicing CMAs, using some of the CA visual software that you guys haven't even seen. Well, you might have seen it in a Ninja class, but most likely haven't seen it live used. The business planning clinic and the negotiation skills, those are all night classes. Wednesdays 5:30 to 7:30 if you guys would like. You could, if you're there to master your skills and want to come in, it's going to be good. Your never-ending referrals every Monday. This is for Monday, November 12th. So Mondays 1:30 to 2:30, they started a new round of never-ending referrals. They've updated it. It's 8 sessions. They're on session 4. The session 4 is client events. Fantastic stuff that you'll walk out of there with action items for your client events.
Well, most of you think it's too expensive to do them. You're going to learn in this particular session that it's very affordable. So let's figure out how to do it.
You guys ever seen a real estate team that does pie day and they call their database and they come in to get the pies and all of that? Do you think that the clients really care that much about the $6 or $7 pie that they get? You know, it's not about the pie, is it, right? It's about the relationships, and then the agents will talk about how much that increases their business. It's the same thing whether you do baseball tickets or you do any kind of little thing for your clients, right? And you just come in and learn how and put it on your calendar. So Never Ending Referrals is building your database, mastering your database. There's, it's such good content. That's on Mondays. All right, Swimming in Abundance, I'm gonna play you a video.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can see it, you hear it.
Hearing something, Buzz.
Me too.
I know, right? I think it's 6 minutes, guys. I want to see what Ruth thinks about this one, so watch this, Ruth. You might have already
Great
seen it.
news. You're swimming in abundance. Hi everyone, thanks for watching. My name is Matt Finelli. In business and in life really, there are two basic belief systems: scarcity and abundance. A lot of people believe that there is a finite amount of business out there. You better go grab it before somebody else does. These are the people who are usually envious of that one person that gets all the listings or even all the leads. The reality is though, we are swimming in abundance. There are potential business opportunities around us each and every day, but sometimes we miss out on them because we are either focused on the wrong thing or have the wrong belief system in place. Today, all of that is going to change. If you don't believe that abundance surrounds you, we are going to turn that around right now. Let's start off with a few facts. According to the US Census, about 15% of Americans move every year. We also happen to know that the average person knows up to 4 people who will move in any given year. Okay, let's start with those 2 points just for a moment. Let's say that you have a simple database of about 30 people. 15% of those people potentially are going to move this year. Rounding down, that's 4 people who may need to buy and or sell real estate this year. About 1/3 of those transactions will probably be first-time home buyers. So if we factor that in, it gives you a 20% transaction opportunity from your database. In this case, that's up to 6 potential transactions. Now let's add on. Those 30 people in your database each know up to 4 people who are going to move this year. That's up to 8 potential transactions per person. There will likely be some redundancy in this number because a lot of the people that you know the same people. So if we factor that in, plus some migration of people who move out of the area, let's call it 2 potential transactions per person in your database. With that database of 30 people, that's 60 additional potential transactions per year. Is it difficult to capture those opportunities? Yes, of course it is. But even if you can capture just 25% of those transactions from a database of 30 people, that's about 16 to 17 transaction opportunities. And we haven't even started to talk about current clients. Here's something fun for you. Have you ever purchased a new car and then all of a sudden started seeing that same car like everywhere? This is your reticular activating system at work. This is the part of the brain that identifies the thoughts that are most important to you and brings them to the forefront of your consciousness. This is why when you focus on something, you start to notice the same thing or similar things throughout your daily activities. The same thing holds true for people who are buying and selling homes. Studies have shown that people who are buying or selling homes tend to meet 4 other people who are about to or are currently going through the same exact process. Before diving into what this means for you, let's take a look at a few more important statistics. According to the National Association of Realtors profile of home buyers and sellers, 72% of buyers definitely would recommend their realtor to another person, followed by an additional 16% who probably would recommend their realtor. On the listing side, 67% of sellers definitely would recommend their realtor, followed up with an additional 17% who probably would recommend their realtor to others. So if you are currently working with clients right now, I am telling you, they want to refer you to their friends, their families, and other people that they know. So let's say that you have 2 clients, 1 buyer, 1 seller. They will each meet up to 4 other people who are potentially going to buy or sell this year. That's an additional 8 potential transactions for you. Now let's apply that same super conservative conversion rate of 25% and call it 2 potential transactions from the 2 clients you're currently working with. What that means is that you have the ability to capture one transaction from every single person that you're working with. Not bad, right? What's the catch? Well, there's a problem with your database. It's going to atrophy. You will probably lose about 15% of your database every year. The good news is we can combat that. You just need to be continuously adding to your database throughout the year. We'll make this easy. Let's say you can add 2 people to your database every month. That's 24 people throughout the course of a year. Using the math and stats that we just went through, including that conservative capture rate of 25%, if you're able to add those 24 people to your database throughout the year, you are giving yourself 15 more transaction opportunities. Putting this all together, starting out with a database of 30 people and continuously adding throughout the year, you're giving yourself a baseline of 30 potential transactions per year, plus the additional transaction from every single person that you're currently working with. So, if you capture those 30 baseline transactions and you add 1 per every one of those, that's 60 potential transactions per year. For those of you who have a database of more than 30 people, think about how many transaction opportunities are surrounding you. The conclusion from all of this? You are swimming in abundance. Even if your mindset has now shifted to understand that there is abundance surrounding you, you're probably asking yourself one very important question. How do I get the opportunity to be the realtor that's involved in all of these potential transactions? Well, that's a great question. And it comes down to building relationships and staying in flow with the people in your database. We've all heard this before, but it's true. People will do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. So next week, we're going to talk about how to build strong relationships so that people will know, like, and trust you, and ultimately want to do business with you. For now, I challenge you to go through your contact list and build a database if you haven't done so already. Then apply the logic that we talked about today to calculate the number of potential transactions that are surrounding you. For fun, you can calculate your average gross commission income per transaction and then multiply that by the number of potential transactions surrounding you. You will soon realize that you are surrounded with an abundance of opportunity and wealth. Well, I hope that this has helped you change your belief system to one of abundance rather than scarcity. If it hasn't, let's connect on social media or shoot me.
So you guys have all heard that before, right? Who here has really mastered their database so far? All right, so Ruth, what do you think about that?
Well, ninja.
Ninja, right? Oh, Merle's got to get me back. Okay, so next week, Ruth and I worked on this weekend. We are bringing you a business clinic class, 9 to 11. Instead of team meeting, next week on Tuesday, 9 to 11, business planning. This is going to be ninja business planning. This is not going to be the same old business plan that you've heard before. I got to sell this many houses and this many appointments. It's much deeper than that, okay? So I want you guys to not only make it a must-do, and also feel free to invite somebody that you care about that's another agent. We'll never try to recruit somebody you invite. It's just going to help their lives. I brought you guys some paperwork to get started before the class so that next week, whenever it's time and it starts asking you questions, you're not going to be thrown by, I don't know this information. Let me have you pass a few of these. So, Ruth, what do you think about what we're bringing them next week?
Well, I think it's going to be, look at that last line, guys. Learn the actions that you need to do to turn your plan into dollars. You know, you can be as smart as you can be, and if you don't put it into action, it's not going to work. So we're going to talk about what activities are going to create the lifestyle that you're looking for.
So guys, whenever Ruth and I go and we work on weekends and we get this ready and we're paying for the materials, really Ruth is paying for the materials, is it because we just think that's fun or because we care about you guys and growing your businesses? Having abundance and having an office full of abundant agents. So let's just glance through this. I'm not going to have you stop and do an exercise. We got started a little late today, but let's just read through together. I know you guys are adults. I have such amount of people in my database. You guys, if you're new and you've never sold a house in your life, let's put you paired up with somebody who has, or let's just use some numbers for you. We'll help you to determine how many you can plan on doing, okay? I did blank mailings last year to my database. I have my database in a contact relationship manager that is working for me, yes or no. I could send an email to my list right now if I had to, yes or no. My gross commission income for the last 12 months was, I can easily pull that info for you guys, you don't have to go research it. I closed blank units, I closed blank listings, I closed blank buyers. I can pull that for you. My average gross commission income per closing was blank. I took blank listings, I lost blank seller consultations to another associate. Did I go on any listing interviews and not get the listing? I presently have blank active listings, blank properties under contract. Had this many fall through last year. I work an average blank hours per week. I spend blank amount of hours per week working on my business. Now, I have agents come and ask me questions about that sometimes. What's the difference of in your business and on your business? And how does it, does lead generation count as on? Does this and that? I can help you guys work through what that means. When you're in the whirlwind of your business and you're working with your clients, that's in your business. When you're doing planning, that's on your business. When you're determining how you're gonna do your stuff. And then working with your clients is in. Lead generation is in because you're doing your job of getting clients. If you guys get questions about that, we'll help you through it. I am not Ninja installed. Basically, what that means is that you go to a kind of a Ninja conference. So, but just if you are basically all in on Ninja, you can go ahead and put yes there because we're going to be bringing it to you. We've already mapped out the next full quarter. I took blank trips 3 days or longer this year. I'm familiar with the tools my company provides. I get to the office usually at blank AM. I came to blank sales meeting. I have a plan for differentiating myself. Yes, no, sort of. What do I mean when I say differentiate yourself, right? So the source of business worksheet, if you'll just sit down with a few minutes and look at your sales, list your transactions, trace the source of each transaction back to the original source. Like in this example, where did you meet, say you know Phil and Lee, and you sold a house to them. But you think that, well, they're my friends. You were introduced to Phil and Lee by your friends Jason and Robin, who you sold a house 6 years ago. Where'd you meet Jason and Robin? You met them at an open house 7 years ago. So of course we don't always go back to, oh my gosh, that came from an open house. Sometimes we go, I don't know, did they see my ad in the paper? Did they get my email? You don't always know, but if you sit and think about where your source is, you guys should almost always know where the main source of your business is. And going through this, I think it's just nice to know your source and track your source. If your business is go to the next page, growing exactly as you want it, keep doing what you're doing. I have sometimes agents say, I don't know, I do what I do and it's going well. Well, I wonder if they did what they did and were purposeful, what they could do. But this is talking about how we're gonna make a plan for you, and the plan is measurable. We call that SMART, specific. That's what we'll be doing as we go through your planning. This next page, my business wealth creation plan 4. We're talking 2019. This will be what we're covering in the class, but it's gonna go a lot deeper than this sheet. This is just to get you ready, so that during the session you don't have to be contemplating. I intend to earn blank income. How much are you gonna earn in 2019? Not a hope I do, I wish I will, but how much do you intend to? Using the Ninja Success Formula, one name in your database, if it's the real database, is worth $1,000. So you can use how many that is to say how much you intend to make, or you can grow it to a certain number, right? The number I intend to close, that equals blank per month. I'll carry blank listings this year. I currently have blank people in my database. You guys get it? And then the activities. Open your mind to doing something different in 2019 and the rest of this year. The 3 things on the next page that I will do to save time this year. Who needs some extra time? Based on my analysis, I'll do the following activities. You've got your daily activities and your weekly activities. I would just love to see an office where we all talk this language and we all behave like this. It's the goal, right, Ruth?
Yep.
All right, moving on. When's the Ninja class that you're going to go to? Next week, 9 to 11, yes?
Yes.
All right. Tuesday.
Tomorrow.
Okay, but don't you?
Oh, I'm sorry, the business
Wednesday
planning.
night?
Yes, tomorrow, Ninja, 9 to 11. Good student. Planning next week instead of team meeting. Okay, potluck, 15th is a Thursday, next week, 12 o'clock, Thanksgiving potluck. I have a sign-in sheet somewhere in the room for you guys to sign up if you want to tell us what you're going to bring. And we kind of debated whether or not to do, since we just did the chili cook-off, and everybody voted yes, we want to eat together and have a potluck. So we're doing it, and we're doing it on Thursday at noon. In celebration of Thanksgiving, Thursday and Friday, the 22nd and 23rd, that's the week of Thanksgiving, office will be closed. Profit share. I've talked about profit share. I don't know if you guys were there and got it when I was talking about disappearing cap. I decided to bring for the first time a true profit share class. Brian Richardson's doing it with me. It's gonna be November 29th, so it'll be in between Thanksgiving and Christmas that week. And I wanna ask you guys something. What is your average commission? If I said, what's your average commission? Somebody say a number.
7,000.
7,000 says Beth. You guys agree that's pretty close? What if I told you that by recruiting, not recruiting, introducing to me a agent that makes over 3 million, you would make 6,000 to 7,000. It'd be like going to sell a house, just by introducing us. Do you guys understand the opportunity of profit share? That's all I'm saying. Some people will never give me a name. It's cool. You don't feel like that's you. Open your mind to it. I mean, there could be a lot of money in there that, I'm a full-time employee hired to grow you guys' profit trees. I mean, what company does that for you? And you guys might have a mindset that you don't understand it. So that's the class that you could go to if you wanted. The disappearing cap is what we'll be discussing in there. How do you work for this company for free? You know, it's just part of it. There is a, what do you call this, photographer coming on Monday, December 3rd. There's a sign-up sheet. It's already got some slots still there. If you guys want to update your picture, if you don't have a picture, obviously, get on that. Judy, is it expensive to get the picture?
It's about, really all in all, it's about $80.
About $80 to get your
One
professional
touch-up
picture
headshot,
done.
they give it to you right there on site.
Okay?
But Judy does wonderful pictures.
Judy does do
Oh,
wonderful
no.
pictures. That's a little bit of a step up.
I know.
Okay, guys, Bruce Sellers does Toys for Tots. I'm checking my clock here. Toys for Tots every year at Christmas. So we're going to be collecting. You'll see a box at the office. You'll start bringing the toys. The last day is December 7th. We'll have the Christmas party that day, so you'll just be providing toys as you go shopping, and then we'll collect them that same day as the Christmas party. Any questions? Get with Bruce. I already told you about Texas Homeland, I think, doing legal too. Okay, market share. I just show you guys every meeting because if you don't know that can go into your client packages. It just talks about why list with you, why do business with you, what does market share mean to you individually as an agent. This is, if you can't see it, Keller Williams. We're outperforming the other brokerages by a little over 8%. That's why whenever we talk about listing inventory, we had a great month last month. We had some good listing inventory last month. Gives you guys lots of opportunities to market and to use when you're conversing with your clients. Always provide that every month. It's in the intranet. They look like this and you can use them for any area. I brought you guys these. I'm going to pass them around. I promise I'm going to close the meeting here in a second. When you guys look, here, just pass that around for me, Dee Dee. When you look at your statistics, you guys know how to pull up kwstats.com. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Raise your hand if you've done it. So good.
I did it the other day.
I can't access it.
So you can pull it anytime you want to. I'm watching it every month. What this is Area 19. Where you guys see that I made the red frame here is that's the sweet spot of the market, right? 140 to 400. You guys have listings outside of 400. What are your days on markets doing? Are there even any homes that are selling in that price range? Helps with your pricing conversations. What affects our market? Inventory, right? If you look on the right-hand side, and I gave you an area 19 and 39, your month supply year over year is still between almost to 5. What's a neutral market between buying and selling? Who knows that? What makes it a buyer's market?
When the houses are more listings than buyers.
So a buyer's market is whenever it's less than 5 months. When it goes over 7 months, it turns into a seller's market. I'm sorry, reverse that. Seller's market whenever the low inventory. So could we start to shift it back into a different market? Here's how we know. And when someone asks you, you don't have to guess, because we provide it to you. You just grab it every month and you look at your inventory. I guess I gave mine away. So look at September. From 2017 to 2000, I'm in area 19, guys. What happened in September where the housing market was down almost 10% on sold units? Could have been Harvey from last year, right? Those numbers were skewed. So we kind of throw that out. Remember when that appraiser told that to us? So every month, if you just kind of listen to me one or a couple of times, you can have those conversations out with your clients. Take these to your clients when they're talking pricing. Do we know if the market is in a shift or not? Do we know what the housing market is doing because we're economic experts? Okay? Just tools that you have. Start with why. I'm going to not play you this video, I guess, because I'm out of time. So I'll do it some other time. We're going to be talking about it a little bit next week in the planning class. Agent of the week. So I had a new agent in my office, and I know this agent pretty well, and she was doing something with me, and all of a sudden here comes Sherry by, and she was talking about helping her at an open house, talking about how they had gone and looked at some property together. And you guys are like secret sneaking around helping new agents, not giving any fill the buckets at the first of the meeting. But I hear reports sometimes of those of you who are doing that. So I wanted to thank you, Sherry. Fill your bucket and your agent of the week. Okay? And if you guys, you get new agents' phone numbers. They're so shy sometimes, and they just could use the little bit of a question asked at times. So make sure you realize that's part of our culture. Have a great week. Go look at inventory. Thank you.
Hey, before you guys get up, can I ask one favor of you? Let's do a giant selfie together. Everybody just stay where you're at, okay? I'm gonna turn this around, okay? Everybody can give me a thumbs up. Okay, ready? 1, 2.
Behind you.
Okay.
You need a selfie stick.
I do. I have one, I just didn't bring it with me
Yeah,
today.
we're running around the room. Guys, make sure you sign in for team meetings, sign in for tour if you're gonna go look at the new constructions.
Thank you for being here, you guys.
Come back next
143,
door and have
147.
another piece of fruit.
Yes, absolutely. There's more juice, coffee, food next door. 143 and 147, I walked over there. 143's got a little bit of mud in front of it. 147's open. They're both open. You're welcome to walk through either one or both if you'd like. They're open. Feel free to wander back there and take a look at those, okay?
Make sure you get his card so you can call on him if you have a client for him.
Yes, my information should be on that flyer as well.
Oh, should I give you guys a prize?
I have cards too.
Hey, I'm gonna give a prize real quick for